What is up? This is your LA in a minute, and this one's really fun. What if I told you that this is the oldest building in Los Angeles? I'm serious. This building was built in 1791, before Placita Olvera, before the San Fernando mission, even before the current San Gabriel mission. It's even older than the oldest home in LA, the Avila Adobe. So what is this oldest building in Los Angeles? Let's get into it. On Don Felipe Drive in Baldwin Hills sit the offices of the Consolidated Board of Realtists, an African-American real estate group who bought the Adobe in 1972 at the suggestion of the great LA architect Paul Williams. Goes without saying that Williams had an astute eye for Los Angeles and history, because this is the site of the Sanchez Adobe, constructed in 1791 by rancheros on what was then unclaimed land following the first Spanish settlements in El Pueblo de Los Angeles, for the purpose of raising cattle on the surrounding land. By 1843, it became part of Rancho La Cienega o Paso de la Tijera, and the Mexican governor of Alta California, Manuel Micaltorena, formally granted the surrounding land and the Adobe to Vicente Sanchez, two-time alcalde or mayor of the burgeoning pueblo. Upon Sanchez's death, the rancho was inherited by his widow, Maria Victoria Higuera, and his grandson, Tomas Avila Sanchez, who was LA County Sheriff in 1860. In 1875, the rancho was sold to Francis Pliny Fisk Temple and a group of investors, but they experienced financial difficulties, and Elias J. Lucky Baldwin acquired portions of the rancho, including the Adobe, and that's the land that gave the name to the hills that dominated the western section of the land, now known as Baldwin Hills. When Lucky Baldwin passed away, his daughter Anita took over, and she discovered oil on the property, but the Adobe fell into a state of neglect. The surrounding land soon became Sunset Field's public golf course, and it was active for at least 20 years, and the Adobe itself became the clubhouse for the golf course. Part of the area for the golf course was used for St. Bernadette's Church, and the Adobe itself became used as a rectory, dining room, and kitchen for the church. That is, until 1971, when it was purchased by the Parkview Women's Club. The Adobe, now in a rapidly developing area, was used for meetings and ceremonies until it was sold to the Consolidated Realty Board, which is now known as the Consolidated Board of Realtists. The Adobe continued to be used by the Consolidated Realty Board for regular office work and banquets right up through 1990, when it was finally given protected status and was declared a historic monument. So today, most of the building, at least the street-facing side, is rather unassuming. But in its 243 years in Los Angeles, it's come a long way, from unknown rancheros to Vicente and Tomas Sanchez, to his days as a church and a golf clubhouse. But the Sanchez Adobe, the offices of the Consolidated Board of Realtists, is indeed the oldest building in Los Angeles. All right, LA, it's been a minute.